Hey everybody, so I'm back with an analysis video here that's going to kind of go over more in depth that Breath of the Wild trailer that we got. My reaction video was just quick thoughts, but this is going to be much more in depth. I'm going to be pausing the video a few times and talking about what's on screen. So let's jump right back in.
Open your eyes.
Okay, so I'm going to pause it right here just because it looks like we have voice acting confirmed in the game. It may be limited to voiceovers as things are happening on screen, but hey, it's a start. And I'm going to assume it's Zelda just because she's the main female protagonist in the series. I really couldn't think of anybody else, maybe a Sheikah, but I'm thinking it's Zelda. So I'm going to hit play again here, and we're going to see a bunch of other camera pans of the world. So here we have a interesting scene with a tower in the distance, and the name of that has been confirmed to be a resurrection tower, much like the resurrection shrine that Link woke up in at the beginning of the game and that was shown at Treehouse Live. So I definitely believe that these are going to play a big part of the story in this game. So we have the tropical setting, and then we see a skeleton monster up there, probably a random encounter. Ducks. Looks like a very nice waterscape. Desert scene. Maybe Gerudo? I don't know. We'll see. So I'm going to pause it right here. This building we see is the Temple of Time. And we know the Master Sword's in this game, so perhaps it's in there somewhere, maybe underground or back in time. I don't know. We'll have to see. Another shot of some relics. Very old Hyrule. Strange rock formations, which are actually called guardians. Those are the tentacle creatures that we saw earlier, back in 2014.
Wake up, Link.
And so the adventure begins here. Okay, a couple things going on here. So Link has a new sailcloth, which is more of a hang glider now. Earlier builds, it was more like Skyward Sword, but they changed that. In the middle, we have a huge tree that looks like fell down, and I'm wondering if it's maybe tied to the Great Deku Tree. There are Koroks in this world from Wind Waker, which were tied to the Deku Tree in Wind Waker, so maybe that's related. In the distance, we see a castle, probably Hyrule Castle, and then it looks like a mountain with a cloud over it, probably Death Mountain. So lots of things going on. Big world for sure. Exploring more in the forest. We get some sneaking mechanics. You gotta keep your noise level down to sneak up on stuff. And this appears to be the bridge spanning over Lake Hylia, most likely. Climbing, you can climb everything and anything. Even huge mountains. The scale is incredible. Not only can Link climb everything, but he can also cut trees down, and I believe most trees that you see in the world. So you're going to be able to cut them down, and then you're going to be able to get over these large chasms as well. Also, you see there's like an NPC, a woodcutter. He, I don't think, would have been in the demo. They specifically took out NPCs just so that the character could explore the world. But they are going to be filling the world with more NPCs. So here's just a woodcutter as an example. Okay, so a lot just happened there. We saw Link hunting a boar, which he was able to fell. From that, he can gather material, which is steak. He can then cook that later as well, and then that's how you regain health in this game, is by cooking food and getting some hearts back. There are no hearts from grass or anything. They also showed him using fire in the grass, so you can create wildfires to take out enemies. It's pretty effective too. Alright, so we saw the sneaking mechanic again to get close to the enemy, but instead of attacking them head on, Link uses his bow and arrow to fell a bee's nest, which then triggers the bees to attack his opponent. Then we see him roll a rock down on two enemies. So it's really cool seeing the ingenuity available to the player here. You don't have to just go in swords drawn. Then we see the tablet device, which is a Sheikah tablet. And this allows you to acquire abilities such as bombs. Bombs are no longer things that you carry around all the time. They're magic. And it has to refill. So you can create bombs. You can bring up platforms for you to get on. You can drop those platforms on enemies. It's pretty awesome. Okay, everybody. So this is the most important part of the trailer, at least for me. You can only see it if you slow it down, so I'm going to play a slowed down version of this, like, split second of footage. Okay, I don't know if anyone saw that, but if you watch very closely, we start with Link with an establishing shot looking at the castle and the swirling mist, purple mist. Then we see just the castle and the mist, and on the right-hand side, we see a shape starting to form. And first come the tusks, then you see eyes and tusks, and then it rears up, and I see Beast Ganon right there. And it looks like he has broken out of a seal. My guess is he was sealed away, and he finally broke out, and if I were Link, I would hightail it out of there as soon as possible, just because I believe Ganon will be super pissed after being sealed away for tons of years. I also think it's fair to conclude that this is the reason why Link was resurrected or brought back from his stasis. He's the one that needs to defeat Ganon. So we're transitioning into some melee combat. Link can dodge / counter. Just like in Wind Waker, he's got a spear, he can use axes, he can use swords. His armor can change, which is really awesome. There's a huge rock monster. Probably a random encounter. We see another desert environment, then snow. And then here's another shrine. These shrines are scattered all over the world for Link to find and then unlock new abilities. And then one of these guardians is confronting him at the end. And at long last, we get the Master Sword shot, which is pretty much the only familiar thing in this whole trailer. So it's really good to see that again. And I believe that puts some sort of time manipulation on the table. I know in Ocarina of Time, when that sword's pulled out of its sheath, it will manipulate time. So I definitely think that could happen. So here we get the final shot of the trailer. Finally, we get a title, Breath of the Wild. I think it's perfect for this game. We also see a very rusted Master Sword. And this is making me speculate on timeline shenanigans and such. Obviously, Link has been asleep for a long time. The Master Sword clearly hasn't been used in a long time. So something is definitely afoot. So, analysis complete on this new Zelda trailer. Thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. Now, I plan on trying to do a timeline video where I place this game into the Zelda timeline. It's pretty convoluted, and Nintendo themselves don't take it too seriously, so I'm going to try my best. So, thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you at your next save.